Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Konnichiwa. 大家好. Today we are going to be learning City of Tokyo from the Japanese fingerstyle guitarist Rynten Okazaki. This is one of my favorite fingerstyle tunes. It's super great if you're looking for a song that's not too hard to play and that's a little bit calmer, a little bit quieter. It doesn't have so much slapping. So let's get started. Grab your guitars and we're going to look at this song. Let's get started from the beginning. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your capo and slap it on the second fret. Now we're ready to get started. So the intro starts with a Bartok pitch, which means you're going to slap. You're going to pull the 6th string with your thumb and pull it hard so the string slaps against the fretboard. Next, we're going to go to the 5th fret. Remember, the capo here is going to add 2 to every single fret. So this now is my 5th fret. Even though normally it'd be my 7th fret without the capo, I'm going to speak about all of the frets with relationship to the capo because that's what happens when you have a capo. It just cuts your guitar. It ignores everything else. Okay, so we're going to start up at the 5th fret. So what you need to do is you're going to be doing, this is 5, 6, 5, and 3. What this means is that you need to have all of these 3 fingers ready because you're going to be doing a hammer on, pull off, pull off. Okay, so super. Once you've done that, then you have to play 5 and then 3. So great. We repeat the same figure an octave lower and then again another octave lower, but this means that the fingering isn't quite going to be the same, so we can use our stronger fingers here. Since now we're at the 2nd fret, we're going to do the same thing. So hammer, pull off, and then just play these next 2 notes, 2 and 0. Okay, and now let's go do this on the bass strings. So what you need to do is since we're going to be doing a hammer-on the 6th string, this kind of counts more as like a tap, I guess. It's not really a hammer-on because, but whatever. So we're going to do the open 5th string, pull off, and then tap on the 6th string onto the 3rd fret here. Once you finish doing the hammer-on, pull off, and the tap, sorry, that's better. Next, we're going to play 0 on the 5th string open, and then your 6th string, and you can add some vibrato. And then we're almost finished the introduction. We're going to finish it by doing 2 open strings, 1st fret, 2nd fret, and now we do this chord. So this chord is 2, 1, and then 2. But what you can do is you can do, you'll notice when Rynten Okazaki does his chords, he doesn't play them as a block. It's normally thumb and then fingers. But it's really up to you. It's a stylistic choice. Next, we're going to go all the way up to the 7th fret. And we're going to, okay, again, you can pull this back and make it slide. But again, it's a stylistic choice. And then slide up to the capo. So yeah, that's the introduction. And now we're going to look at the A section, or the main theme. So it starts up at the 7th and the 8th frets. You can have your fingers ready to go. And you're going to play the 6th string open. I'll just mention this right now. So the thumb does a sort of walking bass thing throughout almost the whole entire song. Well, almost without stopping. And it's generally just quarter notes like this. So what you want to do to get that sort of walking bass sound, you don't have to muffle it with your finger or your palm of the hand. You can if you want. You don't have to. You can just do your thumb and then make sure that your thumb comes back and sits on the 6th string once you finish playing it. Every single time. So all of the thumb notes that are quarter notes are going to be played this way. Alright, so once you've done this introduction, once you've done these first 2 quarter notes, we're going to head to 1st position, and then it's 2, you can play this as an open string, 2, 0, 3. And then 2, 2, 2. You don't have to do bar. Just use your fingers. I don't like to use bars when I don't have to. And then next we have some open strings. So it's going to be ring finger and then index and middle finger. Super. All right, so now we're going to play this next finger. Okay, so this is 2, 3, 2, and then you're going to pass to 1. Your first finger on the second string here, and then you're going to play open strings. When you're playing this passage, just make sure, because this bass note needs to last through it, so make sure that your second finger, because it's doing the bass note, stays through the rest of the measure. So we keep going. Play the 6th string open. Next, this chord, sort of, if you've practiced your B7 chord, you're going to recognize it. It's just with your second finger on the 6th string. First finger, 4th string, 1st fret. And then third finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Right hand fingering is just thumb, index, middle, and then ring finger gets that 2nd string open. Okay, next we need to get to the 3rd fret. So the fingering I use, and I think what Rynten Okazaki does, is he just slides his finger up like this. So you slide your second finger up to the 3rd fret, and then your first finger is going to be, because it was on the 4th string, it stays on the 4th string. Okay. And now, because this finger is super practical, you just need to slide back to your other chord that sort of is like B7, and then play it again. Super. Okay, so now we have an open 1st string and an open 6th string. These two open strings let us get all the way back up to the 7th fret to play the 7 and 8 like we just did again. And then the next part here, when you're back into 1st position, it's a variation. Instead of having this, we're going to have a B flat sound, or A sharp. And I think this is a variation. I think sometimes it's this with an open string, and then sometimes it's this with the 3rd finger, 3rd string, 3rd fret. So I'm not sure when this happens. Like in this case, it will happen here, but I'm not sure how many times it happens. So you can decide. Here, this is 2, 3, 3, and then we're back to doing 2, 2, 2 again without the bar, and then our 3rd fret 6th string is going to be with our middle finger, and then we play our open strings. Okay, next we have to play 2 and 3. When there's 2 and 3, I kind of avoid using this fingering, 2 and 4, because I don't like to stretch out my weak fingers. I like to use my first finger and my pinky finger. Okay, so now we're gonna, also with that, I can stretch this out easily when I'm going to 3rd and 4th finger. Camera battery. So we have this is 3, 4, and next we have our open strings. So then we have our B7 type chord that slides to the, you're going to slide from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, and then make sure your right hand fingering, you can use the same fingers here, or what I like to do with my right hand fingering of this part is that we have 6, 4, 3, and then 6, 3, 2. So instead of doing and then hopping over the strings where I have to touch the 4th and 3rd and then 3rd and 2nd, I can use a different finger to get the 2nd string, so this way I don't have to move my hand. So it goes 4 and 3, and then 3 and 2, and this is index middle, followed by middle ring. Okay, so this next one is all on the 2nd fret. You can bar if you want, or just like me, I don't like to use a bar when I don't have to. And then we have our open strings. Okay, next we're going to head up to the 5th fret. So this is a series of pull-offs that I do with the 4th and the 2nd finger, because next I have a hammer-on to do at the 1st fret here on the 2nd string, so I do it with my index finger. You can do this pull-off like this, but I find it's a little bit more difficult if you do the pull-off with the 3rd and the 1st string, and then you have to hammer on with the 1st finger, which just finished pulling off. I find it doesn't give you very much time. So do the pull-offs with the pinky and the 2nd finger, and then hammer on with the index finger at the 1st fret. Next, the chord that you're going to get is this you can use 2 and 4, or you can use 1 and 3. This is 2nd fret, 5th string, 3rd fret, 2nd string. Next, we have a little passage. 0, 1, 2, 3s together. And then this E7 chord, you're going to use 4th finger, 1st finger, 3rd string, 1st fret. And then your middle finger, 2nd finger, it's going to be 5th string, 2nd fret. All right, next, before you switch, you need to, before you move up to the 5th fret again, you need to play the 2nd string open. Next we go and then do these pull-offs again with pinky and then 2nd finger. This is 5, 3. Cool. And now we're going to go back to our E7, E7 chord. 2nd finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. 4th finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. Next, this is with a C form, so you're going to play the 5th string, and then whilst you play the 5th string, you're going to be doing a hammer-on with your pinky finger. Next, we're going to get our B7 chord, so come to here, and then play the 5th, 2nd, and 1st strings, and then your 2nd finger goes onto the 6th string, and then just swipe across all of the strings, strum upwards. Cool. Next, it says 2 varied coda. That's for when we come back to do like a second part. You'll see later on, but we don't do this varied coda yet. We're going to move on. So we're going to go back up to the 7th and 8th frets. This is like the beginning. Again, 2, 2, 2, or 2, 3, 2, depending on whatever it's like. And next, oh, sorry, I made a mistake there. All right, we've seen this part, and now we're going to go to the end of the main theme. So we have 3, 0. Okay, next, this part. Okay, you can do, anytime there's a note that's in the 2nd fret like this, you can do this with your thumb. Thumb like this. It's perfectly adequate. This is 2, 1, and 2. And then I did 3 with my 3rd finger like this. And then thumb, this is 2 on the 6th string, 1, 4th string, 3 on the 3rd string. But like, I don't really like to use my thumb all that much in this sort of situation. So what I prefer to do is I prefer to do that method where you slide across the 6th string with your 2nd finger. So this looks like this. So I slide, this is 3, this is 2, 1, 2, and then these are my 2 open strings. So I'll show both ways with your thumb and then with your fingers, and I'll remind you later on there's a couple different parts where you can use your thumb here instead. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to, I guess this could be the B section. It starts with a triplet, hammer-ons on the 6th string. And now, this next part, I really like the walking bass part that happens like this. And it happens at the same time you have a melody. So make sure that your walking bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, make sure that it happens right on the beat. This part here, the melody, you can swing it and you can make it sort of vary the tempo a bit if you want. But just make sure, like as always, the walking bass stays on the tempo. If you want to vary the tempo on the melody, go for it. So this is how it goes. So you have open, this is 1 and 2, 3, 0, 0, and then this is 2, 2, 1. Sorry. If you want to do 2, 2, 1 with your thumb, you can do it like this, or you can use your fingers. This is 2nd finger, 3rd finger, and 1st finger for 2, 2, 1. And then after that, we have our open strings, 0, 2, 1, and then 3, 0, 0, and then this is 2, 2, 1. So if you're, again, used to using your thumb, I'm not really that used to it, but permits you to use these stronger fingers, but I just prefer using 2, 3, and 1. Again, a lot of times I play on a classical guitar, so it's harder to get your thumb around the neck. All right, we keep going. This next part, you're going to slide from the 2nd and 1st frets to 4th and 3rd frets. Oh, sorry, you slide, and then you play the bass, like this. So slide, when you arrive, play the bass. Next, it's going to be 3rd, 0, 0, 2, and then 1, 0. Okay, so if you're using your thumb, it's tricky, so maybe don't use your thumb in that case. 2, 1, 0, or 2nd finger can easily go back there. Next, open strings. This is 2, 4, 4, 3, 0, 0, 2, 4, 4. Okay, thumb. If you want, you can use a thumb in this case. I'm not used to using my thumb again, so I'll show the fingering that I use. 1st finger, 2nd finger in the 2nd fret, and then pinky finger in the 4th fret. Open string, really open strings with your index and middle fingers, 3rd and 2nd strings, and then your 3rd finger plays this one on the 6th string. Real easy, real straightforward. Next, this melody, sorry. Okay, this is tricky because the part that you get to hear where you have 3, 2, and then 1, I haven't really found a way to get around it without cutting a note short and getting to the 1st fret. So that's what we're going to do in this case. So you have 0, 3, 2, 0, open string. This is your 3rd finger, 6th string, 3rd fret. And then this finger goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. This, you're going to get the 6th string, 2nd fret, and then you're immediately going to jump to the 1st fret, and then you're going to do a little hammer on like that. Now, it's easy enough to jump to the 1st fret because it's going to be just like your 1st finger doing the jump. So you've done the hammer on here on the 4th fret. And now we're going to do the same sort of melody. So open strings. Sorry, open strings just with your fingers. Keep the walking bass going. 2, 4, 2, 3, 0, 0, 2, 4, 2. All right, and then. Okay, so this part here, you're going to have to shift along as you do each note that's in the measure. So we have 0, 3, 2 is going to be with your 1st finger. Open strings. 3 is going to be with your 1st finger that we've shifted along. And then this is 4 and 3. 4 is your, on the 3rd string, 4th fret, 3rd finger. And then your 2nd finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret. That's 3, 4, 3. And then for this 4th, because your 3rd and 2nd finger are busy here, you're going to get it with your pinky finger like this. So you need to just do it sort of twist. Okay, next, we have some stuff to do in the 5th fret. Before we get there, we release everything, and playing this open string permits us to free up our hand and get it into position here. So this is how this goes. You have these 2 fingers, your 3rd finger and your 4th finger. These 2 fingers are going to be anchored in the 5th fret, okay? And then your walking bass is going to be done with your 1st finger, which is going to bounce between the 3rd and then the 2nd frets. Okay, so, sorry. As your 1st finger bounces between the 3rd and 2nd frets, this is what your fingering is in the right hand. It's thumb and index, ring, thumb middle, and then index finger. So, yeah, and then you keep going like that. Ring, middle, index, ring. Basically, just to keep from getting confused, you're going to have one finger that does one string only. Your thumb does these bass strings, as it always does. And then your ring finger stays on the 1st, your middle stays on the 2nd, and then your index stays on the 3rd. So don't use one finger for each of those. It's too confusing and it won't sound smooth. What we're going to do is use our 1st and our 2nd finger because these are the strongest fingers and they're ones that are going to be best to do these sort of pull-offs and things like that. So let's get started. You're going to have 2. This is our 2nd fret, 6th string. pull off here, and then go back here, and then play the 6th string again. All right, next we have open, 3rd, 2nd fret, 4th string, and what you're going to do is you're going to slide up to the 5th fret on the 4th string. Okay, so it's slide. Play the bass notes with your thumb. Next, we have 2 open strings. You're going to play these open strings with your middle and your index finger of the right hand. Playing these open strings let you get back to the 2nd fret to get the 4th string 2nd fret note. And now we play our open string, 2 open strings, and now we have a pull off. So this pull off here, this is your 3rd fret 2nd string. And now you're going to hammer on that exact same note again. Okay, here's where the tricky part happens here. So this is what you can do when you're on the 1st string. Again, I like to use my stronger fingers, but unfortunately in this position, we don't really have the luxury of using our 1st finger. It's kind of over on the side. So you're going to pull off with your pinky finger, and that's going to let you get your note with this note. Sorry, you're going to get this note that's on the 2nd string 2nd fret with your 2nd finger. So we've done this. Next we pull off with the 3rd finger again, and now we get to use our index finger again. So index finger is going to go on the 4th string 2nd fret, and then this is 4, 1, and then 3. Next, to get the last notes in the 1st ending, it's a power chord, and then next it's 1 and 0. 1 is on the 5th string, 1st fret, and then next it's 2, 1 on the 5th string, and then 4th string. And then that way you get to buzz and get the note that's on the 6th string 2nd fret. So let's look at the lick again, the fast lick. So that's all done the fast lick with these weaker fingers. Let me see if I can try to do it using the 1st finger. Oh, that works as well. An alternative way that you can do using your 1st finger, this fast lick, is like this. So you have pull off, hammer on, 1st finger gets this note on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Next, pull off. Now get this note. This is the 1st finger, 2nd string, 2nd fret. 3rd finger, 3rd string, 3rd fret. Pull it off. And then 1st string, 4th string, 2nd fret. This part is easy. This is 4, 1, and 3. Next we have a power chord. Next we have 1 and 0. And then 2 and 1. So 1 and 0 is the 5th string, 1st fret. And then 2 and 1, this is 2nd finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. And then 1st finger, 4th string, 1st fret. So the repeat sign is going to take you all the way back to measure number 4. And then you have to play everything from the beginning all the way to measure number 32. Instead of doing the 1st ending, you're going to hop straight to measure number 37. So we're going to continue on at the 2nd ending. So the 2nd ending starts much like the 1st ending does, except instead of a descending line where you have A, G, F sharp, E, you're going to have A, G, F sharp, and then F natural. So let's look at that. So you're going to be up at the 5th fret. And then when you slide down to get this F natural in the 1st fret, just release all of the notes that you have up here at the 5th fret. You don't need them anymore. Next, we continue on the same sort of format with the right hand fingering, except now we're in 1st position. The trick here is that you need to have a finger that's anchored. You need to have the finger here that's going to be on the 1st string 3rd fret, and just make sure it's there. It just makes it less confusing because you have a lot of stuff going on with the right hand. So as long as this one doesn't move, you'll be fine. So that's the pattern there. So it's, again, the right hand fingering, it's always index for the third string, ring finger for the first, and then middle finger for the second string. And then walking bass with the notes that are going to be on the sixth string. Keep your pinky finger there and it'll all be good. So you repeat that pattern again. This is at measures 40, 41. Next, this is sort of the B section, I guess. We're going to move up to the 5th fret, and I really like this part because it really puts to advantage the open strings that are on the guitar, and it's one of the things that make the guitar really characteristic. The sound that you can get here, it's different from, like, say, the sound you get on a piano or something. So this is how we're going to get set up. The first thing you're going to do when you get to the 5th fret is you're going to have your 3rd and your 4th fingers go down on the 5th fret. 3rd finger goes on the 4th string. 4th finger goes on the 3rd string. Then later on, when you see that note that you need to get on the 1st string and the 3rd fret, you can get that one a little bit later. It doesn't have to go right away. So this is what you're going to have. You're going to have your 3rd and your 4th finger down, and then you go thumb, index, middle, thumb, and then when you're ready to get the note on the 1st string, this is going to be done with your ring finger of your right hand. And then you go ring, or A finger, and then M, I. So, I, M, P, A, M, I. That's the right hand finger. So now we're going to be going up to the 7th fret. Make sure that you keep these fingers, the 3rd, 4th, and index finger, the same distance apart. You're going to slide your 3rd and your 4th fingers up 2 frets, but they're going to each go down a string. Leave your 1st finger over the 7th fret. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th fret. Keep it over the 5th fret, just don't put it down on the 1st string. Next we start playing the right hand fingering. So it's thumb, index, ring, middle, index. And then now you can place your 1st finger on the 1st string and then go A, M, I. So keep on going, measure 44 now. Slide your fingers back 2 frets. And again, you don't need to get your 1st finger down right away. It can just wait. So make sure your 4th and your 3rd fingers go up a string. We do our same pattern. Now your index finger goes down on the 3rd fret. And now slide back up. Oh yeah, this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so it's thumb, index, ring, middle, index. And now what you need to do is instead of leaving this, you're going to do a pull off. So index finger goes on the 5th fret, pull it off. So you get the open string sound, and then middle, index. Okay, one more time. For the last time, you slide back 2 frets. 3rd and 4th fingers go on the 4th and the 3rd strings. Place your index finger down. Okay, now we're going to do a series of diminished chords. So I originally had this wrong when I played it, the first version. It was harder than what I was doing. So this version is the correct way to do it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our 1st finger on the 5th string, 1st fret. Next, 2nd finger, 4th string, 2nd fret. And then finally, 3rd finger, 2nd string, 2nd fret. Okay, so the right hand fingering goes like this. It's thumb, index, middle, thumb. And it's going to be like that for the rest of the pattern. Thumb, index, middle, thumb. Next, 4, 3, 5, 5. Okay, so top finger first. Everyone knows I like to put the top finger first. It's going to be your 2nd finger, and it's going to go on the 4th fret, 5th string. You can get... Okay, I like to get 3 and 4 at the same time. And yeah, so get 3 and 4 here, and then finally put your index finger down on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Same right hand fingering, thumb, index, middle, thumb. Now we get to go back to our diminished pattern. I think everyone knows this pattern. It's 1, 3, 2, 4. Really useful pattern to know. I'm not going to explain it more than that, but look at a chord chart. It's the diminished chord pattern. Same right hand fingering. Slide up to the 5th and 6th frets. Super. Okay, next we're going to do the last little lick before the end of the B section. Okay, so the last little bit, it goes like this. It's 7, and then you're going to get your third finger on the 7th fret. Yeah, and then that's going to slide up to the 9th fret. And then this is 3 and 2. So get those two notes together. This is 3rd finger, 9th fret, 2nd finger, 8th fret. Play them both together. Next, we have some harmonics. Harmonics at the 7th fret. You can get them with your 3rd finger, or you can get them with your 4th finger. The trick to getting clean sounding harmonics is to have your finger as straight as you can, and of course not to push too hard. And then you have to try to let go soon, but don't let go too soon so it doesn't work. So just like that. Okay, so if you let go too soon, obviously you're going to get that open string sound. You can leave your finger on, but then you might mute the sound of the harmonics. Okay, once you've gotten that, we're going to get our, I guess this is a dominant 9th chord. This is 7, 6, 7, 5. 7, 6, 7, 5. Super, and now we're going to slide to first position. It's written to Coda. That's for the second time that we come around. I'll be explaining the roadmap soon because we're going to need it when we get to the end of the C section. So the C section, that's not an operation. The C section starts with something that is similar to the introduction of City of Tokyo. So we've slid down to here. And then this is very similar to the introduction. Oh, it's actually pretty much the exact same as the 4 measures of the introduction. So I'm just going to play through it. I'm not going to explain the fingering. Okay, this here, before we start the real C section, just slide up and then slide your finger across the strings. You do whatever. Just something, or you can do something like that. So now we're going to enter into the last little part of the City of Tokyo. Okay. There is always the walking bass part here, but here the rhythms become a little bit more complex. Let's get started. So we start with a variation of the main theme. And what you're going to do is you're going to start out with, in first position, 2nd finger 4th string, 1st finger 5th string. Oh, and make sure that you swing your 8th notes in this case, the whole part. Okay, once we get to here, this is at the measure number 56. We're going to do a pull-off on the 3rd and 2nd frets. And okay, so this pull-off triplet, I use 4 and 2 to do the pull-off with my 1st finger on the 6th string. Again, that's how I can get the best anchor for the pull-off. I don't like to pull off with my 3rd finger to my 2nd finger. It's too awkward. Next. So we're going to play your 2 open strings. Next, this part, really notice there's rests between each of the 8th notes. So make sure that you play, this is 2nd fret and this is 3rd fret. Make sure you play and block the notes immediately afterwards. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we keep going on. We have a pull off on the 1st string, 3rd fret. This is a hammer-on the 2nd to 3rd frets. And now this is going to be a pull-off on the, this is here at the 2nd fret, and then this is 3rd fret pull-off to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Next, this part, rhythmically, it's not exactly how Rynten plays it sometimes, but I'm just going to be more strict in the rhythm here. So, the finger that's going to be on the 6th string, 3rd fret, is going to be your 3rd finger, and it goes 1. This is 2nd fret, 2nd finger now on the 6th string, 2nd fret, and now it's going to be 1st finger, 1st fret, 2nd string. So if I play with the correct rhythm, it's going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3. Next, get the 6th string open again, and now we have our final chords. So it's 2nd finger, 1st finger, and then 3rd finger. This is 2 to 3. Just slide your middle finger across the 6th string. And now we have the 6th string open. Okay, next this is 2, 2, and 4. I was tempted to do a bar here, but bars. So just use your first finger, your second finger, and then get your pinky finger at the 4th fret. It's really clean, and it's not too hard to get your fingers, and it's not much of a stretch. So, yeah. And next we have our open strings. So this is 6th, 3rd, and 1st. And then immediately after, get your note that's the low G on the 6th string 3rd fret. Next, this little triplet that you're going to get, this gruppetto thing. Okay, this is how it's going to work. Gruppettos, these are those fast little triplets that you need to get, it's a hammer on and pull off right away. Get it with your first finger because your first finger is the most agile finger of your left hand. And it's the one that's going to be get it the cleanest and the fastest. Okay, so now after this, you're going to see I've got my second finger, and afterwards immediately I need to get my second finger onto the 5th string. It seems like a big jump, but just practice the jump and you'll be able to do this move extremely quickly. And it's extremely reliable. So that's going to be the move there. Just practice the jump from the 3rd string to the 5th string, and you'll be able to get it quickly. Next. This is 0, 1, 3, 0. Now we're on to measure 64. So we get our 3rd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. You can get this with 3 and 4. Next chord is 2, 5, and 4. So yeah, stretch a little bit to get this on the 2nd fret, and then 5th fret, and then 4th fret. Next, 7, 5, and 5. You can slide and have a little slidey sound. It makes it sound really great because we're really aiming to have an accent on the note that's at the 7th fret. As soon as you play these two notes, 7 and 5, the B and the A, I think you need to have a rest that comes after that to really mark the sound there. Next, we're going to come back to first position. This is 2, 4, and 3. Sorry, I missed it. 2, 4, and 3. Better. Next. Okay, not really anything special here. Just make sure that you swing the 8th notes. 0, 1, 3, 4. Super. Okay. This next part has a lot of syncopations that follow with the walking bass. Okay. So we're going to start off with the 3rd and the 4th fingers. You're going to play... Alright, next, this pull-off is going to happen with the 2nd and 3rd fingers on the 2nd fret. So you pull off, and then as soon as you pull off, you need to place the 1st finger onto the 6th string. Like that. They have to be synchronized. Next, we're going to be playing notes that are in the 3rd fret. So, you can keep this on the 2nd fret, and then these notes that are in the 3rd fret, it's going to be with 3 and 4 again. Next, this is the note that's going to be on the 3rd fret, 6th string, and then the pull-off is going to be happening, this time you're going to do it with your 1st and your 2nd fingers, okay? So leave your 3rd finger there on the 6th string. You pull off, and then, because this finger is already there, pull off and then thumb. Next, this is 2, 3, and 3. We've seen this. No pull off, so it's straightforward. Alright, next this pull off. So what you can do is, if you don't want to have a pull off sound where you have everything pull off at the same time, you can just, you have these open strings. So you can release the note that is being played by the 1st finger. So you can release your 1st finger just right before you do your pull off. So it's going to sound like this. This is 2 and then off. Sorry, I just need to turn these lights on. Not sure if it's going to make a difference. Might. A little bit more light. Okay, So that's at where we've just gotten to measure number 69. So we are at our open strings. Okay, and now the next little part is a little bit trickier because the bass part changes a bit. So this is 3-3, 2, and then pull off. So 2-2-2, and then pull off. Again, because I don't want to have all of my fingers pull off at the same time, I release this finger a little bit before I do that pull off. Next, the last measure that we do with the DS before the repeat is super straightforward. 3, 2, 0, and then 3. Okay, so let's keep where we get off. So we're going to go just where we have DS with repeat. So normally when you have a DS sign, you don't do the repeat, but this time we have to. So go find the DS symbol, which is at measure number 21. Follow that through, do your first ending, go right back to measure number 5 where the repeat sign is, and then you're going to keep going all the way till you see the 2 varied coda, which is at bar 16. Alright, and now instead of moving on, we are going to do measure number 71. So measure number 71 starts off with this E minor chord. The varied coda is going to be down, 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 up, down, up, down. That's the part where you're going to be strumming with the E minor chord. So make sure you can play as loud as you want. Okay, next we have just a series of power chords. So you have down. I play this 2-4-4, and then this is 3-5-5, and then this is 5-7-7, and then this is going to be down up. So this is how I do the down up. The first down is E minor chord, and then the next up is just your third finger that reaches over onto the 6th string and gets this note. Okay, so I'll play through the varied coda again once more. Varied coda, this is with the actual strumming pattern, and I'll count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's with the rhythm. Okay, DS second ending. Go back to your del segno sign, which is at measure number 21, and you will see that the varied coda just replaces measures 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we keep going on measure 21 as if we never stopped playing. Okay, and then we're going to, instead of taking the first ending, we already did it, we're going to do the second ending. So you play through the second ending until you see 2 coda, and 2 coda is helpfully written for us at measure number 50. So you're going to finish doing your harmonics, play your dominant major 9 chord, whatever, and then we're going to go to the coda. So the coda is with the circle and the cross. Okay, so the coda is going to start off with just one finger that's at the 3rd fret. Next you play 2 2s. Next, this is 3rd finger, 6th string. Do a triplet, and then your pinky finger can get this note on the 4th fret, 4th string. Okay, next, this chord's a little bit tricky. 2 2 1 2. You have to squeeze your fingers like that, or you can probably just leave it at a little F sharp. And then just play 2 1 2. It'll still sound good. It's still the same chord. Okay. This last little variation is the last 2 measures of City of Tokyo. I think this is how Sung Ha-jung plays it. But so we're going to look at it quickly. So you start off in the first position. 0 2 2. Just play all of the it's your E minor chord. Play all of the strings. Okay, next, when we're going to be doing this part, 7, 3, and 7, just get your 7th fret note with the pinky finger, and then the 3rd fret note is with the index finger. So when you're doing all of these when you're doing the sweep across all of the open strings, it gives you time to get up to the 7th fret. And this is also an effect that sounds really cool because you get the sound of the open strings. It makes your guitar sound like it has a whole bunch of strings. So 7 3 7 3 0. Next 5 7 3 4, and then a whole bunch of open strings. Take your time to do this. 2 4, and then the last note is just your 6th string open, and you can hold it for as long as you like. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's it for the City of Tokyo tutorial. Make sure you download the tabs so you can follow along with the tutorial. And make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.